Pierre, we've been having this debate for a while. We've had it in the offseason. This is the last question I'll ask you before you go. I want you to rank these shooting guards in order. Zach LaVine.
I was just about to ask y'all this, but come on.
Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker.
Bradley Beal.
Am I missing somebody? Bradley Beal?
But that's the question. That's really the big three.
Oh, so we're just deading
LaVine, Mitchell, and
get
Book.
him out of here.
All right,
Well,
so
we know Beal. At least Beal for me is
He's
last.
4. He's 4.
he might not be 4 for me. I like SGA, but that's just me being biased. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So between Zach, Donovan, and Mitchell, rank them 1 to 3.
This is going to break my heart to say, okay? Devin Booker is number 1.
What?
Are you going to put LaVine last?
Number 2 is Donovan Mitchell.
I knew it.
I got a question.
And number 3, or number 2. I think Donovan Mitchell and Zach are like that. But just to answer your question, I guess Zach is 3. But I think the main thing for me is that Devin Booker, as of right now, is a superior over both of them. I've been, over the last few years,
That's strong.
Devin Booker over Donovan Mitchell. Motherfuckers, y'all have me so
I don't
fucked
disagree.
up if y'all think Donovan Mitchell can touch Devin Booker in any aspect of the game.
Hold on, Joe.
And the only thing that's holding Zach LaVine back is that we haven't seen him in the playoffs. So I'm giving Donovan Mitchell that tad bit of respect. But for me, they right there. And if Zach LaVine do what I know he can do, then Donovan Mitchell, count your days as number 2. But
I have a question for you. But before Riv goes.
Oh, yeah, because I'm finna go.
Does Donovan Mitchell's height have anything to do with it?
No, it used to, but not no more. It used to.
Till you see him do some heroic things, then you was like, nah, the height don't even mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I gotta give him his respect.
Because to me it does. Like, I see a 6'1" shooting guard.
This guy's heightist. It's crazy.
No, I know that it's weird because I'm short too. No, Donovan Mitchell is a great player, and in the playoffs he plays at a superstar level. Yes. But for me, when I'm like, okay, if I want to take one of these guys, I think LaVine, Book can give me what Mitchell gives me offensively, and they're like 5 inches taller. Like, I think I just gotta go with those guys. But Mitchell, I would put Mitchell second, and I'd put Book 1.
We got to wait till we see what Zach LaVine does in the playoffs. We saw what Devin did. Y'all was not y'all specifically, but a lot of people was talking empty stats. I told motherfuckers for years that don't exist.
Stupid.
That's not a real thing. That's some social media shit.
And P, what's crazy is that you saying Devin Booker over Zach LaVine. We asked this question earlier in the year on TikTok. Everybody, the majority of people think LaVine is 1. And I don't understand why, because he hasn't proven it yet. Like, I understand people are projecting.
This is where I get involved.
D-Book in most of these lists comes last to a lot of people.
Yeah, Zach LaVine's been one of my favorite players for years now. But and it don't hurt me to say, because I like Devin Booker too. Devin Booker has shown us that he does what he does. A lot of people talk that playoff shit, and now we have the playoff thing, and Devin Booker checked off all the boxes in his first playoff run.
Yeah.
First. Even in a bubble, he was putting them motherfuckers, that bum-ass Suns team on his back.
He was tweaking.
Yeah, that's so.
And now, all I'm saying is we have to wait to see what Zach does.
Hey, Pee-wee.
What's up?
I mean, that sounds all great and good and dandy and all that. You said Donovan was 2. I think I'm the only guy at this table that probably has Donovan at 1. I need to understand, why do you think, not only did you think Devin Booker was better, you said superior. I need to understand why you said that.
What do you think Donovan Mitchell does better than Devin Booker?
Well, I think if you, like, comparing these 3 guards, right, I think at this point you're splitting hairs because they're all dynamic offensive players.
I disagree. I don't think you're splitting hairs. I think they're close in some categories, and then there's things that Devin Booker does tremendously better than Donovan Mitchell.
Tremendously better?
Yes.
His post game is better than his. Easily.
Post game is better.
I think defensively he's better. I think on the defensive end he's better.
His post game is better. So that just off of that, you can play him in a lot of different ways in your offense.
Agreed.
That doesn't limit him like Donovan Mitchell. Number 2, he's a way better. It's not even close playmaker.
Agreed.
Way better playmaker, which opens up your game in a pick and roll. Just those 2 things make him more dynamic, and you can give me the more dynamic player. And in any given time, I want the more dynamic player. And when we talk about being stopped, I haven't seen people stop Devin Booker like I've seen teams stop Donovan Mitchell in the past, which is why I used to have a thing with his height. It's been a while since I've seen him get stopped the way he did earlier in those playoff runs. that I felt like it was way more just because of his size. Certain passes, it's hard for him to be the playmaker that the other guys can be, and Zach LaVine has potential be because he is smaller. So if we're blitzing and we're hard hedging a pick and roll, he has to leave his feet to make a pass to the opposite corner to a Bogdanovich. That's a tougher play to make than a Devin Booker. And because Devin Booker has better pace, better size, he's shooting over guys, the turnaround fade. I'm going with Devin Booker. Donovan Mitchell is a good basketball player, but I just don't think he can fuck with Devin Booker, personally.
And another thing, why can't we project that Zach LaVine's going to be that guy in the playoffs? Like, why?
Because these guys, because we can project it. Nobody's projecting that Zach LaVine is going to be a 7-point scorer, but these guys have they went elite. I can't project that he's going to have a better playoff run than Devin Booker had last year, or the shit that Donovan Mitchell did.
I know what you're saying.
You know,
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell goes to superstar level.
For sure.
Projecting that Zach LaVine is going to go to their heights, that's a tough thing to project. We could project that he's going to be good, but them motherfuckers was great. Can you 1,000% sure tell me that you're projecting Zach LaVine in his first playoff appearance this year, he's going to be at that level that we seen those two guys?
That's fair.
I don't
enough.
think you could.
Fair enough.
So ain't nothing wrong with being. Why we have to have all the answers right now in the basketball world? There's nothing fine. There's nothing wrong with just waiting to see.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong.
You know,
and if you want to project and make the prediction, go ahead. But you also live with the fact that when it don't happen, that it was you got to be bold enough to say that shit was wild.
LaVine at least has backed it up night in, night out, that he is right there in the conversation with those guys. And that's the conversation
regular
right now,
season.
which is fine. A 50-40, 85 type of player gets it translates to the playoffs. You don't just fall. A 50-40, 85 translates.
But the conversation gets different when you're talking playoffs, because the playoffs take guards to a different level.
And another thing that we haven't spoken about, we're all projecting that DeMar is going to be, or we're hoping that DeMar is going to elevate his play in the playoffs.
I think he'll elevate.
I think so too. Now let's say, God forbid, he doesn't. It's going to be on LaVine's shoulders. He's going to have to shoulder.
I mean, it's going to be on his shoulders whether DeMar shows up or not.
Yes, but it'll be heightened more if DeMar is like DeMar has been in the past, which I don't even think has been that bad, really.
I think right now we can kind of project Zach LaVine's not going to be elite status in the playoffs just because he's been dealing with a lot of nagging injuries.
I don't know, bro. He got Mamba mentality. He's one of those dudes, man.
He's a beast.
I just can't guarantee it. I can project that he's gonna be good, but I can't project greatness. I think the Bulls do need to rely on him in the playoffs, though. I think he's better suited for the playoffs than DeMar DeRozan. I think that's why I don't think DeMar DeRozan struggles or shortcomings is because he's not a good basketball player. I think playoff basketball is different. It's a lot easier to take away the mid ranges, and we've seen teams
you need a 3-level scorer.
And,
yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, Zach LaVine is a much more dynamic scorer. DeMar DeRozan is having a hell of a year, but DeMar isn't. He don't have the bag that Zach got, man. Zach is a 3-level scorer, can dunk on you. He fade away fucking threes in the clutch.
Nah, he's
off
ridiculous.
The dribble, off the
crazy.
catch.
So Rivers,
and I think those things are just obvious. Yeah, if DeMar DeRozan ain't scoring the basketball how he usually does, yeah, Zach LaVine has to do more.
Did you want to give a rebuttal to the D
Book
versus Mitchell thing?
I didn't disagree with nothing he said. I ain't gonna lie, he got it. Everything was like,
these are the guys because they're younger, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't acknowledge Bradley Beal.
That's y'all. I'm not one of those guys that I don't care about what you say. That ain't gonna make me riled up.
No, like he's just like, because we already kind of know what he is, and we don't just like, these three guys are like,
so what
on
other
a different
guys,
level. We feel like,
did he mention Brad? Is that what he's saying? Why didn't we mention?
No,
Beal?
I would just keep.
No.
I like Paul George.
You think he's a 2 guard?
Is Paul George a shooting guard?
I think he plays a tweener.
Yeah,
but in the playoffs, I don't, because he played the 5, the 4, the 3, the 1.
Last year specifically, when they were at full health, they brought in Marcus Morris, who started to be the 4 that pushed Kawhi to 3, PG to 2. That's all.
So who are your best shooting guards in the league then? You're just saying we have to mention Paul George. You want to say?
I would, yeah. Paul
so where
George
would you put PG? Because I would put him at 1 if we classify him as 2 guard.
As of right now, 1 for sure. But my man's put him at 1 to start the season, and we was clowning him because at Harden seemed like he had this separation. But
Harden at this point in time also is, I feel like he's a 1.
So then Kyrie would be a 2.
I would take Paul George over Kyrie.
I would too.
I would take
just for the all-around game.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, you have
Fair.
to. You know,
Fair.
you're Jaylen
Yeah,
Brown.
that's why.
You have to
That's
take
why
him
I'm
over.
saying yes. I agree.